And I think leadership is something that everybody acknowledges, but it's so ambiguous. Most people know what's the structure of business. How do I develop leadership? And leadership can compensate for a lot of lack of capabilities in specific management disciplines, but not the other way around.
And Mark, I think one thing is here that leadership development is normally a topic of HR. And HR, the people I know, most of them understand the line business of and the culture of the organization, and they don't look too often into those small pieces that are projects and programs. And I think
also because the quality of leadership needs to be a little bit different. I think, for example, one of my favorite books is called Extreme Ownership, written by 2 Navy SEALs. That goes into this. Okay, in a line organization, there's more governance, there's more standard. The political field is more regimented, and you play the long game. But in projects, it's all exacerbated. It's much more extreme and requires a much more fluid and adaptive understanding of leadership. And I think that would be an exciting future thing to take a look at. Let me ask another question, which is a hot topic always, also that ties into certification, because ultimately the PMBOK is the trough at which we feed to prepare for. We have then it comes to the question, and this kind of goes beyond the PMBOK. What is the actual purpose of the PMP? Does it have primarily a validation mission, or should we open up the gates again to the concept that actually the PMP process should also be an educational process? What's your take on that?
You want to start?
To me, it's both. Yeah, to me, it's both.
If you don't learn anything, why are you studying it?
Yeah. And as a person, I'm a strong believer, right? So to me, a lot is about me and myself. And thinking about doing something like the PMP, it's a promise to myself. It creates an expectation which I have towards myself in the first place. And that creates to me some reciprocal process.
Reciprocity, yeah.
With myself, yes. Like a reflective thing.
It's a loop.
Yeah, and this is a value which I see that exists for the others, but also for myself. And I think it's not a static thing, because the PMBOKs are evolving, the PMP certification programs and whatever is around is evolving. So there is an evolution and a development thing there, and not a one-shot thing where you say, I get the button and that's it for the rest of my life.
It's a market signal, first and foremost, but not only. Market signal stating that you have gathered a certain amount of experience and you've done a certain amount of homework, learning, so that's part of it, and the combination of both puts the probability of you succeeding at project management, no guarantee, just a probability, higher than someone who's not having that one. Because if you don't have a certification, it's not just a PMP that goes for all. At the end of the day, do you need this one to do your job? No. Absolutely not.
Plenty of people who are not certified, who've never heard of PMI, who do a good job managing projects.
But it's a market signal.
But the question, there's other questions you can ask there. Yeah. I mean, what was the learning curve? How painful was that learning curve? Yeah. Are they using economies of scale? All of these factors. How many problems could they have avoided if they would have learned from the community of practice? So.
And I think it's also there are some industries where I feel comfortable to work in, and others where I don't feel so comfortable, and I guess that applies to you as well, right? And I think the PMP helps you a bit understand the breadth of all those different aspects. When you think about skills, you think about the talent triangle, business acumen. I think it's a very important thing to include. It's a bit what I mentioned before about the other areas of the line organization, right? Business acumen. So understanding the field, right? But in practice, of course, I'm a bit more better in that than in this. and you might be more closely experienced in that and not this, right?
But it shows basically that the probability that you are a one-trick pony in terms of project type is significantly less, because there are a lot of extremely good project managers for one project type, which they basically grew up in, and that's completely okay. But if you move these folks into a different context, there's a good chance that they will fail. With that one, you have the foundation to succeed, not in every project. There are industries which are very special, for example, construction. So I don't want to send a software project manager into a construction project without proper hand-holding, support, and what have you, and then it's going to be very...
But PMI is doing a little bit again now in this direction of allowing industry-specific...
And I think that there's good, especially for construction, because it's a different beast, let's face it, one from most other project types. And so there is an education that's out there, and I think that's fine. But again, the PMBOK and the PMP is something that signals, hey, there's a good chance you can handle different types of projects successfully.
You were the first to mention it.